and like I'm telling you, like I just want to see them go out and play football. I think Chase needs to focus on football. People can call me a hater, but I don't really care. Like I'm sick of seeing the TikToks and he says it didn't affect his game, but it's still a topic where you're talking about it every time. Every time a guy interviewing you they're talking about you in that scenario. So there's a reason maybe why they went and drafted Pickens and a reason why they drafted Calvin Austin. Maybe they're coming for Deontay Johnson's job and Claypool's job. I wouldn't feel too safe. So we'll see with a new quarterback as well. Who's Mitchell Trubisky going to link up with better? Could be an unknown guy. Could be Miller. Could be Boykin. Could be anyone. So I think the offense is more of a mystery than the defense is, right?
I agree. Well, Mitch Trubisky has a history with Miller, given the fact that they both were, from Chicago, and I think Miller's best season was, having Mitch Trubisky throw him the ball. And
he was like number 2 or number 1 over there, I think.
Yeah, he did fairly well with Mitch Trubisky throwing him the ball. I think it was his Mitch Trubisky's Pro Bowl season where Miller really took advantage of that. But yeah, no, I agree. What did you think about Chase Claypool announcing the George Pickens pick? I thought that was pretty interesting. He didn't even say the position that he played.
maybe the Steelers did that on purpose. I'm just saying, man. Look, Chase Claypool came out firing in as a rookie, and then you had a really dud season. So I'm just saying, look, I just want you to play football, mate. You don't have such a big, talented receiver, and you don't use your body that way. He just doesn't do it. I see people with more heart than him than I see him play football. I really do. Ooh. And that's hard to say, right? It's hard to question a man's ability like that, but go out and do something. What have you done, really? What has Chase Claypool done in 2 years? Didn't do much.
Well, I mean, Chase Claypool even questioned his own heart. Like I mentioned before in that podcast, he stated that had he gotten a bag in college, he may not have played to the position that he got because he may not have needed to, during his college time.
I think it's all about him. I really do think this one player, Chase Claypool, and if I can pick on him out of every single one, I think he's trying to build his social media brand, and he tells us that. He's trying to build his brand, and he is trying to build the Steeler brand. And I get that. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, he came out on that podcast, and that was the first thing he said. That he said that Nike had came up to him and they told him that they didn't just want him for his presence on the field, but his social media brand, and that he felt that he's going to actually go back to it this year. That he took a break from it as the season started last year, but this year there'd be no breaks. And I was like, man.
And you're telling me that doesn't affect the play? It doesn't affect you on the weekends or when you're on the field? It doesn't affect it affects the play 100%. I think he's more about the brand of his own brand, social media brand, than he is a football player. I really do think that. And a lot of the NFL, I've asked other NFL fans, nobody really wants Claypool. Nobody wants to make him a number 1 or make him number 2,
No, I agree. I mean, he just doesn't have that. Well, last year he just didn't have that
oomph factor, right? At least DJ does. DJ does.
Right. He has that flash.
Even James Washington had that bit of oomph around, behind him.
Right. Yeah, James Washington had the ability to catch the ball and away from his body like none other. I was watching some highlight reel on Duck really not too long ago, and it was basically could have been a James Washington reel as well. And against the Cincinnati Bengals, they were just all over him, and he was just able to catch the ball away from his body. I think he might be somebody we're going to miss. Do you think that the Steelers are going to miss what's his name, Juju Smith-Schuster? Do you think he's somebody that's going to be missed? Do you think he's missed more than maybe somebody else?
Maybe a little bit, because here's the difference between Juju and Claypool. Juju was actually physical. On these runs, he would finish runs. He would run down someone and keep running until it wasn't, until the whistle went, right? But maybe a little bit, depending how Pickens comes out and plays his game. But what I saw with Claypool last year, so many times watching the game and rewatching, because I did it for the channels on BTSC and this one, and there are times where you see him give up on the route. Like Najee Harris is still churning his legs away, and Claypool's like holding a guy just holding a guy like this. Why aren't you finishing the route? Why aren't you developing the route to push someone back? Like I just thought he was checked out most of the time. And I think that what that Steelers have done is they drafted him, had a big year with Big Ben. He went crazy, and I think it's got to his head. He had 11 touchdowns. He got 2 last year. And now you're in a scenario. It's like, okay, you had one good year and one bad one. Who are you going to be? So I think, honestly, I just don't think that Claypool is number one or a big time receiver. I just don't see it in this league. He did say he wants to be top 3. I can't see it. I can't see him being like a Deebo Samuels. I can't see him be like Justin Jefferson or my mate Trey. You know, those kind of blokes. I just can't see him be like that. Or even like the other bloke. Who's the other guy from Washington?
McLaurin.
Yeah, those dudes, to me, you see them cut their routes, come back to the football, and make football plays. Claypool is what I've seen with him. He burns them, and maybe with a better ball thrown to him, he might be able to catch it and move on. But I just see him being a second or a third guy. It doesn't seem anything special to me.
Yeah, with me, Claypool kind of started going downhill when he tweeted out, "Losing, never heard of her." That kind of brought out,
and that kind of shit too, man. You don't do that stuff. Like,
we lost smarter. Right after that.
Be smarter, mate. And the pointing and the first downs, and it's like in back chatting to Trey Turner, who's a veteran for 7-8 years, yelling at him because you made like I still can't get over that. I'm honestly that Vikings game that was Trey was there because he's a Vikings fan, right? But that game where he back chatted to Trey Turner and he was in the wrong, and the fact that he's fighting with Minka in camp. You're fighting with Minka. So many things to me. I'm just like, I would be happier just to get rid of him and play someone else. Sorry. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, and to me, it seems like he's always playing for pass interference. Like he's always playing for that. Like he's throwing himself on the ground, trying to get the flag. And I'm like, catch 100%. The ball, man. Let the pass interference happen. You're just a big
play
guy.
The game and see what happens, man. He does because I think he got one of them in the first year or the second year. He definitely was up there for a lot because there was a lot of times the only thing I see what he has is going deep, contesting for the ball, and he is fast, and they just plays pass interference. We get that, but you're not getting the reception. I don't know. I just don't see because of the loss of Juju doesn't make the loss of Juju doesn't make you number one because he left. You know what I'm saying? Does it?
Right. Yeah, it's kind of like when AB left, everybody automatically assumed Juju was number one as well.
Stars just got a pick too, by the way. Stars having an upset coming back 23-20, 9 minutes to go. There's a new quarterback in town. Jamar Smith isn't there, so 23-20 got a pick now. But yeah, look, that's what I'm saying. Juju left and he was number one, right? And then probably Deontay and then Chase. Just because that Juju leaves doesn't make Claypool number one. I just think he needs to pull his head out of his bloody ass, either be a Steeler or do TikTok. Either one.
Right.
You're telling me that Claypool needs the football right now? He doesn't need football. He's already famous anyway.
Yeah,
it rolls me up, man.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's just so upsetting because he's a type of guy that has a skill set that could be someone that could be very, very talented and very good for us. I mean, he showcased that in the first, his first year, and if he could just, I don't know, maybe even if he was playing to the same caliber but not had that negative light on him, it would just make him such a better player for us and a better teammate and whatnot. And I just don't like that TikTok stuff myself either. I know it's something new. But
here's the point too. You and I are both on social media, okay? We are doing this stuff to talk Steelers, to voice our opinion and get the viewership from the YouTube guys and grow the community with Gene Smith and Get Your Fix with Wicks, everyone, right? Everyone's in here. We're on social media. So we are, calling the kettle black a little bit. However, this is the only one we're focused on this. We go and do our work and we're focused on this. What Claypool is doing is he's putting the brand himself, his own brand, before the Steelers and making him sure I get the Nike deals, I get this, I get that. You're using the NFL to make yourself mainstream huge, right?
Right.
Well, you and I, we don't play football. We're just talking about these issues, so it's a little bit different. However, the same kind of thing, right? Even this comment, this stuff now, if I made it into a little video, it could go boom because you're a Claypool hater, but it doesn't make sense. Go play football. Not many other NFL stars. I know there are NFL cornerbacks laughing at Claypool. They're laughing at him.
No, I agree. I mean, even when we go back to Juju, when we're playing the Buffalo Bills, I think it was Josh Allen and Buffalo Bills that he was like, let them dance, this and that. It motivated him. It motivated everybody. And for them to think that, it doesn't, or if they need this extra motivation, then they're not really into it or blah, blah, blah. That's bull crap. At the end of the day, you're adding fuel to the fire,
Exactly.
and it's not even so much to like, oh, be worried or live in our fears or anything like that. It's also comes to a position where it's embarrassing. You know, we're an organization that's supposed to be of class and whatnot, and to have our players dancing on the logos of other teams is embarrassing as a fan. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? I don't like it. I think it's childish, and I think it's something that the player needs to grow up, in my opinion, in that scenario.
I'm the same as well. So when that Juju stuff happened, like I think Juju could kind of do both, where he was doing the stuff and he was so physical. So I was like, okay. Claypool is not physical. He's just not. He's just not a physical receiver. So when I saw, and we got smacked by the Bengals, and because of that reason, they used that motivation against us and absolutely hammered us to death. And you can't give them that any extra energy. You just can't do that. So, and there was even like the Claypool saying, "Oh, losing, never heard of her." What are you doing? What are you doing? This is just oh man, it's so frustrating. Just go out and play ball, and you'll get paid your coin. You'll get coin regardless.
No, I agree.
Pat McAfee, mate. Pat McAfee built the biggest brand of NFL pretty much ever on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a punter. Can you not wait until after your season is over and then build your brand? Not like right now. I'm telling you, he's building Claypool, and it's Claypool only. That's all it is.
No, I agree. I mean, even if he was doing, bringing attention to himself, doing it the right way. Like, for instance, I'm reminded of Joey Porter. Joey Porter used to not care. He'd go out there and talk smack to you and then prove it. But he was also a proven player, and he backed it up. Exactly. And, that right there and it wasn't childish. It wasn't anything, crazy. It was like, hey, we're going to beat you. We're going to smack you in the mouth, and there ain't nothing you're going to do about it. And that's the type of physicality and represented the type of team that we have. I don't want to be represented as a team that's dancing on logos. You know what I'm saying? And so
there are so many things to it, right? There are so many things to it. And I agree with you, Daredevil. I agree with you 100%. Social media is the worst. It is. It really is. You and I are on social media now. YouTube is a part of social media, right? It is the worst. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's also toxic. But in the realm of football and what we're getting into, these new fellas, right? Claypool's going out there. He's putting energy and ideas to dance, right? Which doesn't make sense. Men go out and dance when you have a few beverages, right? You have How many men do you see get out there that like have not had 0 beverages and get on the dance floor? 1, right? And I'm not saying I'm the biggest burliest man ever, right? But I'm saying this is like, okay, the energy it takes you to put in the idea of like, I've got to do this, and whatever, right? You're taking like hours and hours and hours to think that stuff up. Why aren't you using that to either, get away from social media and go have fun with your friends and family, or using that energy to maybe study the playbook? But I'm not saying you can't study the playbook all the time. I'm saying, why do you have to go and put that energy on TikTok and do this stuff? But it does seem like nowadays that these NFL players are, they maybe they feel safe with the NFL and they go out and desire to be a rapper or whatever. I don't know. It's just, to me, I don't like TikTok because I think it's actually, if we go down the rabbit hole just a little bit, no, we can't go too far. I think it's a dirty ass platform. I really do. I think it's absolutely terrible what you see little kids on there. You see teenagers like that are 15, 16, 17. I think it's disgusting how they're allowed to, the parents can let them do this stuff. I think it's crap because we all know how evil the internet is, right? And it's just such utter bullshit when you think about it, TikTok. And Jeddah was right. It's the worst. YouTube for us is an escape to talk football. Right? We're on here for a long time, 3 hours or half an hour. Claypool has a chance to go and be like Gene Smith says, opportunity of a lifetime. Right? And you're wasting it with trying to balance social media and be the best TikToker or famous there when you literally have 65,000 fans watching you.
Right.
I don't get it. I really don't get it.
No, I don't either.
We'll see, man. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens this year, but I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's just the generation. I need to be able to do everything. I can be who I want to be, type of stuff. And they don't understand that. As an NFL athlete, you're held to a higher standard. You're in the public eye. Everything that you do is going to be scrutinized. And if you're going to put yourself on a childish platform like TikTok, then you're going to be criticized, and rightfully so. I mean, that's what you put yourself in position to do so. And so it's just crazy, man. I think that the acquisition of Pickens in the draft is the Steelers, sending a message that we're looking for a more physical adult receiver. That if he's going to get into some issues on the field, it's going to be not because he's dancing, but because he's getting in someone's face.
Here's the thing. So Pepper's been around for a long time. She's a lady, I think, from Birmingham, like the South, right? And she says TikTok disgusts me, and I agree with you 100%. The idea of this generation of like, I'm 30, I'm 32. What are you, 30, 33?
I'm 36.
36, right?
Yes, sir.
We are the last kind of generation with this new generation coming in and doing the TikTok dances for approval of random people on the internet. Now I get it, I do get it that we are on the internet and we need approval as well for our YouTube stuff. But we are more having comment and discussion. We are not getting out there with our clothes off or doing the weird dances. And it's like, what are you doing, man? I just don't get it. I've seen literally kids or young girls post up like on a mailbox, put a camera up there and do the little dance. And like, I just don't see it.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. What society is sort of becoming here, and what's allowed and what's becoming, allowed out there. I mean, pop culture on its own thing, it's gone off the end. But yeah, I think that type of stuff needs to have its own realm. I think that everybody who watches football goes to watch football for one reason. They want to see the football team. They want to see the players. They want to see the competition and see which team is going to be the best team to win and hopefully be the team that you're rooting for. And so, I don't think, the NFL fan base for the majority is a fan base that's involved in the TikTok scene and whatnot. But the NFL's trying to move that way, though. They have the Nickelodeon thing, and they're doing the Splash Town and Splash this and Slime that. And so I get it. They're trying to bring in a younger generation, but
you can do it other ways, though. You can do it other ways.
I agree.
Because TikTok is is a self-loathing app that you have to get instant approval from random people that if you don't get views, you feel very upset. And YouTube platforms like that too. If you don't get views, you ride the roller coaster. But what I'm saying is that these stars are focusing on their social media brand more than they are playing football, being a team unit. You think straight away after a win, Claypool goes, or whoever does those things, goes to his phone and celebrates and goes this. Why aren't you celebrating with the team? Why aren't you going around the team, shaking people's hands, high-fiving, and having conversations? This is what it's getting at. Right. So Pepper says, hey, you have Snapchats? Hell no. Like I tried TikTok for literally, I lasted, I think, 7 minutes. And I realized what it was. It was 7 seconds. There was lots of sexuality on there. I'm getting too old for this shit. Yes, I like women. Yes, I like women of my own age, right? And I love beautiful women. But going through all these things, I was like, this is this dirt-ass cheap stuff. It is terrible. It is so stupid. And I think there is a big discussion where, holy do, is that picked off? Oh, no. There's a big discussion where, Claypool is involved in this stuff to make money, to make bank from Nike and go out there and do a certain amount of TikTok Rick Rocks. And I think it will affect, I don't know. I would just like to see this argument done, trade him away, get some picks back, and play Miles Boykin or whoever.
Right. Well, the Pittsburgh Steelers were pretty high on Miles Boykin. He was what the Calvin Austin was for us for the Ravens as far as a theft in the draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers were really high on Miles Boykin back, when was it, in 2019 he came out. And so even Chase Claypool stated on that podcast I referenced to earlier that every time they played Baltimore, that Mike T would go up to him and ask him about Boykin and whatnot, and how he really liked his ability to not just be an offensive player, but his ability on special teams. And so I think that if Pickens has a great preseason and can show that he can take push the defenses back and create some space for Najee, I wouldn't be surprised if Chase Claypool finds himself on the trade block. He still has one more season left on a rookie contract, and so he'd still have to play out this year. Given how the wide receiver position has been moving recently with the draft and free agency, it could definitely pay big for us. Maybe not something that we can get a couple of maybe a second or a third round for him. That'd be big for next year. You know, I like it.
I just don't think that Claypool is the number one receiver or the future receiver like the Hines Ward, AB, even guys like I used to love. My mate Itzinsberg made a video about DHB the other day, right? Darius Bay.
Right.
I love those kind of dudes because they showed heart and talent, man. I just don't see it with the Claypool right now. And I want to prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Go out there and have one of the best games. But I think it is that new age where people are celebrating their success and thinking it's all them. But you still have a quarterback throwing you the football. You know, I just don't. This TikTok stuff really annoys me. I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over. You go onto Instagram Reels, and when you get stuck in that loop, you ever been in that loop where you're in there and you go on, and you get yourself, and you're like you've just seen all these people, you don't know them, you get all the energy from them, and it's the same theme. Like there are like 5 or 6 videos that are viral right now, and those 5 or 6 just keep, doing different things and different soundtracks, and it's like everyone's trying to be a star, and I get it. We're on the YouTube stuff, right? But that's why I contradict myself 100%. I do, but I'm better than you guys. No, not the viewers. I'm better than those other idiots on the Instagram Reels. If that makes sense. Like I'm just sick of seeing the same stuff. I'm seeing all the same stuff on the Instagram Reels. I'm seeing all the same TikTok dances. I'm seeing, and it is in our life now. And Jed Devil says, look, I use YouTube is all I use. Me too. I use YouTube, Instagram, Messenger, and Facebook. Right. Twitter, I'm not on there. I don't know what to do on there. But it's like, as an athlete, I guess we are going through that transition where you get $1 million from Nike for doing.
Yeah, I mean, I would go dance on somebody's emblem somewhere for $1 million. I'll go do the Corvette somewhere.
It's crazy because I think we are. Oh, big flag, Birmingham, 21 yard away, 27. I think I told my mate Gridiron Blitz is doing this as well. I think I told him the score. I predicted the score was 27, something like this.
Oh, nice. But I think when it comes to NFL players, it falls back to that saying, they jack of all trades, master of none, so to speak. So when you start seeing players and NFL players start doing commercials or TikToks or rapping on music or coming out in films, and their play seems to take an effect of it, it kind of goes hand in hand, in my opinion. And so we're doing this on the YouTube and social media. However, we're not trying to do this and also, I don't know, create be a high performance athlete. You know what I'm saying?
We're not doing this at work, are we? Whatever job we have, we're not going. If you work I'm doing Uber. I'm not doing this while I'm doing Uber, right?
Right.
I'm not doing the same time. I take my time out of the day, but it looks like TikTok for some of these fellas, and Claypool must be the number one. But besides Patrick Mahomes' brother, he's in there too. But it's like I just don't get it. It's old man me ranting. I don't fucking get it. I think it's so dumb. Just stick with Instagram. Take photos of your food. Upload that. I don't want to see anyone doing these ridiculous dances. When you and I used to go to the clubs, what do we do? You go out there, have fun. No one filmed anyone. Not really, anyway. You kind of got a few photos. And like the next day, you're like, oh, what did I do yesterday? You're like, Mark, do you remember this? You're like, nah.
Man, when I used to go out as a kid, everybody had a flip phone. Nobody's camera was good. Everybody looked like those Bigfoot cameras, those Bigfoot pictures. So that wasn't the greatest quality anyways.
You got a few photos, you got a few stories, but you did stupid things. And you remind and go, oh, okay. Now, if you go out, everyone's filming everyone. I've been to a party, I think it was about 2 or 3 years ago or whatever it was. I was hanging around with these 21-year-olds. I must have been 27 at the time, so 5 years ago, right? That was so nervous to do anything. They were so nervous to, I don't know, be silly, be creative or whatever, say something dumb because people had their phones out. People were filming me while I was drunk, and what I was doing, I was actually putting it on near the end. I was saying stupid things near the end to make them go, Mark, did you remember last night? Yeah, I did that on purpose to freak you out.
The liquid courage trick. Blame it on liquid courage.
People were just like, I was being a weirdo on purpose to prove my point that you don't need to bring your phone out every single moment for someone doing something silly. Just go and do it. Like I literally went, like this sounds bad, but I literally went around the corner and took a piss, and they're all like, "What? You can't do that." And I was like, "Why?" I'm in the dark. I'm at a party. You don't do that? Or everyone uses just go like, oh, that's crazy, Mark. I just took a piss.
Yeah. Well, we come from a different time, man.
I know, it's weird, dude.
Yeah, when I was young, I used to go to. I came from a border town, so Mexico was right across. It was like maybe a mile away from the city limits from where I was at. So we used to go down there when we were younger, and things are different now. You can't do those types of stuff, and life has changed, and things have just becoming different. And I get it. Maybe TikTok is the future, but if it is, I don't know if I want to be a part of a TikTok future.
I've always said, okay, I'll bring it back to, us calling the kettle black or myself calling the kettle black. I've always said on this YouTube platform, for me being the content creator and trying to have fun, the minute I don't have fun, I am out. I'm walking out. The minute I don't have fun, I don't like doing this anymore. I don't like sitting in my room for 3 hours, talking football, having fun, getting you guys laughing at least. If I can do that, then I am out. I've always said that. The moment I don't have fun, and I still have fun. I have a lot of fun talking with you, talking to myself in my room, watching the game. So the thing is, I'm not doing it for self-approval of like, almost a big cut there. But these guys are just doing it for like Instagram likes. Or how many did you get? How many did you get? It's like, what the fuck? Just go out and do something. Go throw rocks. Have you ever just thrown rocks into a water?
Oh, all the time, man.
Like...
Me and the wife, we like to go out to Colorado quite often and go out to the mountains and go out to the springs out there and hang out in nature, man. Have you ever been out to the mountains of Colorado in the States?
I lived in Banff. So I lived in Banff in Canada for a year and a half. So like, that's what I mean. Like there was days that me and my mate, Ben, right? I had a mate over there, a Canadian dude. We're at a point when I was living in Banff for about maybe a year or so. And I said to Ben one day, I was like, mate, what do we normally do? He's like, oh, we normally go down and get lunch, have beers, and whoa, big pick six, go Scooby-Doo all the way. Scooby-Doo, where are you? The Stallions have won the championship. That was a huge pick six.
Oh,
his name's Scooby Wright. Scooby Wright, number 33 linebacker. He's like a Spillane type too. Looks like that kind of dude. Got a pick six, and they're now 32-23. Holy dooly. Okay, what I was saying was that's crazy. That's a big play. They have won the game now. Man, that's crazy. So what I was saying, like there was one day when I was in Banff, and I was like, I woke up and had the day off, and Ben had the day off, and I was like, and so some of the other fellas were working, and I was like, Ben, what do we normally do? And he's like, we normally get lunch and go get beers and get drunk. I was like, yeah, are we not bored of that? He's like, well, I guess. And then what we did was, dude, we just went for like a walk in the woods, was close near us anyway, like a local near the river, and just went skip rocks, threw rocks into rocks. We found big trees and threw them into the river. Just like that normal boy shit. Like we just went and just did boy shit like that. You know what I mean? Like just go do stuff like that. Like even Trey, like just go and throw rocks at stuff. Go find a tree 20 yards away, throw rocks at it for 10 minutes, and you'll be like, sweet.
That's the best. But hey, Mark, I'm gonna have to jump off here pretty soon. The
firework
festivities have started, and my dogs are getting riled up.
Yeah, man. Will you enjoy tomorrow, 4th of July? Happy Independence Day to you guys and your country. Have a good time, barbecues and whatnot. We have the Stallions are going to win this game. Yeah, thanks for coming on.
No problem. Thank you, man. We got to do this again. I truly enjoy coming on every time.
Yeah, awesome. All right, check out Stay the Steelers, and I'll run the rest of the show. But I'll speak to you later, mate. I'll kick you out.
Sounds good.
All right, see
you,
mate.
Y'all later. Bye.